Hey guys, I want to do a little bit of a quick business talk about something in particular that's going to be particularly critical for those of you who are just starting your businesses or thinking about starting a business. And what I'm going to do is talk about the mistake that I made when I first went into business that still has ramifications even today, and we're looking at being 8 years later almost now, or just 7.5 years or so. So when I started my business, of course, I needed work. I didn't have any work. And it stemmed from my father's business was going on the decline due to the economy. So I started my business, and not in a position of leverage, not in a position where I was set up to be successful. I was set up in a position to struggle because I had not planned on starting my business, and I didn't have any experience running a business. And to tell you the truth, when I first started it, I figured I would just be a subcontractor for my father, and that was going to be it. But as the years went by, that changed. One of the first mistakes that I made was not charging enough for what I was doing. You know, to put it into perspective, I charge $95 per hour, and then I charge, for example, if I change a fan motor, it's going to cost between $350 and $400 typically. Depending on what kind of fan motor it is. If it's a standard small fractional horsepower fan motor, like on most residential ACs, that's what it's going to cost. If we get up into the 3/4 and 1 horsepower blower fans and stuff, it might go up, but you guys get the idea. Most of the time it's in $350 to $400 range. Capacitors, you know, I change a capacitor. I use a generic capacitor. What I say is a generic is, well, let's say regular capacitor or a turbo. If I use a regular capacitor, which is what I typically do now because of the availability of turbos in my area, I'm looking at charging about $160 for that. You know, I'm charging, $95 an hour, then $60-65 for the capacitor. So, in and out, I still, whenever I change a capacitor, it doesn't take a real long time. I still stay in there, I check the charge real quick, see what's going on, see if there's any red flags. I should take a look at it, kind of visually inspect everything. In case the contactor looks like it's been extra crispy for a while or something like that. You can let them know that, because the idea of you being in business is you gain experience, and ironically you gain experience and you learn how to spot issues, so you actually make more money because you recognize how to spot problems before they're happening, and you get more work out of it. And we're actually going to do a parallel conversation to that about the iConnect, and that'll come up a little bit later. But as for today, I'm talking about just starting my business. So I started my business, I charged, like I said, $350 to $400, and then $160 for a capacitor. When I first started my business, I would charge people like $50 or $60 an hour. I didn't have any idea what to charge, I wasn't all about doing a whole bunch of research about it either. I just sort of went off the cuff, and so I ended up changing capacitors for less than $100. I ended up changing fan motors for $200, $250. And while I thought that was great, I'm making some money. And you do make a little bit of money, but not a whole lot when you look at the grand scheme of things. Because when you back up and look at all the cost you have and where you want your business to go, because it's not just about today, it's about where you're heading in the future. Even if you want to be a one-man show, you don't want to be a one-man show living in a 50-year-old single wide at the end of a dirt street with the moonshine guy next door. You want to live somewhere nice. You want to be able to supply your kids with an education, supply your kids with what they need to grow up, hopefully buy a few things for yourself. It doesn't have to be a mansion, but you don't want to be, like I said, single wide trailer at the end of the road where the moonshiner lives. That's a real place, by the way. It's a bad place to live. The idea is charge what you're worth. And that changes from area to area. We've had that conversation too. But I know I looked up online and I found, forms you fill out that they offer businesses to sort of calculate what you need to make per hour based on how many hours a day you're working. And I sort of came up with what I got now, and it seems to be working for me, but I'm sure I'll keep tweaking it as I need to. But I just wanted to share that with you. Quick blog, nothing monumental there. But I think that's a mistake a lot of us make. We don't want to go in and charge somebody too much money. Feel like we're ripping them off, when in fact, we're ripping ourselves off, not making enough money. Man, we're not going to work every day, staying away from our family, staying away from what we want to do, which is not work for nothing, Like I said, we all love HVAC, but damn, I think I'd rather go to the beach or something like that than do HVAC. I mean, I enjoy my job, but I enjoy recreational shit more. So let's make it worthwhile, guys. That's what I say. But stick around, catch some more of these award-winning blogs. Don't ask for the award because I can't remember where I put it. And I'll see you on the next one.